Hi everyone, welcome to Modern Mom Girl. It's your girl Emmy.
And it's your girl Lex.
If you're new here, we are Modern Mom Girl, and if you're a returning listener, thank you for always coming back to listen to us. So if you've been keeping up with us on social media, you'll see that we have grown our team, and it's been exciting and a new experience. So we just really wanted to warmly welcome our production committee member, Sapara, who's also here with us today, helping us with the recording, and our marketing manager, Aaliyah.
Period. So yeah, it's just such a exciting time for Modern Mom Girl, you know, as we start a new beginning while still having a beginning is just I love that. But yeah, let's get started with today's episode.
Yes.
And oh my gosh, I'm embarrassed. What number episode is this?
37.
Okay, 37. Y'all, I always forget the dang numbers. But yeah, episode 37, we are talking about sex, the boundaries, experiences, what we wish we knew about it growing up and everything. And so, yeah, we did talk about this in one of our previous episodes.
I think it was very beginning. It was very early on. Mm-hmm.
Yeah, it was uncomfortable topics to discuss with your Hmong parents. But today we're diving in deeper about, you know, sex, experiences, and stuff like that. And so we do want to put a disclaimer out there that this episode isn't to encourage anyone to do anything they're uncomfortable with. This is about knowledge, boundaries, and empowerment.
Okay, so before we dive into this topic, we do want to say we'll be, talking about rape and, sexual harassment and just sex in general. So if you don't want to tune into this episode, completely fine, completely understandable. But yeah, just wanted to let you all know.
Alrighty, let's dive in.
Yeah, so as we all know, the topic of sex is very taboo in the Hmong community, right, in our culture. So us just talking about this topic, we're already like, yeah, let's see what happens. Yeah, so it's really like almost sinful to mention about in our culture, especially being Hmong daughters, because we're always held to an expectation of being like like we said, good Hmong daughter and not doing things that are like shameful or looked down as like, Bill, balay, because we do stuff like that, and then we're like, balay, and the words they always say, Mika, which I freaking hate. But yeah, so many of us grew up without like a clear, accurate, or culturally sensitive information about our own bodies and relationships or consent. So we really didn't grow up having knowledge of that because we weren't taught because it was so taboo, right?
Exactly.
So yeah, this really leads to people being very ashamed or confused with sex and things that happen to them, and just being like very misinformed about everything involving that.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So the goal of the episode is to educate our community that sex isn't something bad. It's part of life and it should be talked about. And if you're listening and you are feeling nervous, that's perfectly normal because,
nervous.
Yeah, I mean, it's in our American culture, it's so easy to talk about, right?
Yes,
Like if we go to our classrooms and we have like sex ed, like it's comfortable to talk about that. But like in our community, it's really like embarrassing and shameful to talk about it because it like us Hmong people, again, like Asian people, we're very passive aggressive and quiet, and so we just like to take that uncomfortable topic and just kind of sweep it under the rug, like,
Yep.
oh, like we don't know that happens, like how do we make babies, I don't know, if we can just pop out,
It's like they think that if they teach it, oh my god, the kid's gonna know, the kid's just gonna do it. Like,
yeah, no, because like the kids are not gonna know it, and then like they experiment, and it's just like, oh no, like what do we do? So yeah, so we are gonna start out with what is a sex. So, according to Google, the definition is mainly referencing to people, sexual activity, including specifically sexual intercourse. A very vague definition, but I think we all kind of know what that
Oh,
means.
yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. So, what are the traditional mom perspectives on sex, purity, and marriage? I feel like we all know,
Yeah.
we are all, not all, but Hmong women especially are very like held up to a standard of being pure until you're married, until you're married, and serve like holding your body only for your husband, and like your body is a temple until you marry them, da 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 da, all that stuff, So still that's very traditional, and even on the non-traditional side, there's people that do believe in like preserving your body just for until you're married.
Right.
Yeah, so it's not just Hmong, but there's a lot of
Yes.
people in general that think that way, right? But we're talking about like our Hmong culture, so yeah, very much. You're a pure woman, and you should keep your body pure until you marry your husband. Because if you don't, then you're not a good woman,
Right. You're
So,
icky and used and passed
yeah.
around. Yeah. And
But then it's fun if the guys do it.
yes.
What?
Yup.
I just don't understand, and I still don't
Exactly.
understand till this day
Yeah.
because I be talking to my mom, but like, why is it like that? Make it make sense,
Yeah. Right.
Like, how come when your son brings home a girl, they could go into their bed and lay down, but if I go, damn, it's the end of the damn world.
Yup.
So
Yeah.
always leave your damn door open because you never know what could be happening,
Yes. Yeah. That's so true.
But yeah, I feel like sex in general, growing up, like, you said, I was never taught, what sex is, what the woman's um body part is, what the men's body part is, how you make babies and stuff like that until I went to school and learned in elementary about puberty. I was like, what the heck? I just said it before here
Yeah.
about puberty, and that's when I learned,
Oh,
the
in elementary?
elementary
Oh,
6th grade. I remember,
oh,
yeah.
okay.
Until I learned like what the body parts are called and periods, right? And what we go through, because my mom didn't even teach me what period was.
Yeah.
Like, it's like, what? You need to know that stuff, as
Yes.
a girl. Yeah. So very very taboo topic.
Yeah, I agree with all of that. And I just think that, like, just brushing up on how purity and everything is practiced, just not in the Hmong community too, but it could be very toxic on how it's
Yes.
practiced. Because, like, it's a choice if you want to be celibate or not. And that choice shouldn't be affected because other people are telling you to be that. And I
Yes.
think that it also creates a lot of secrets once when it is used in that way, once when it's used as a threat. And so, like, say that, for example, your parents enforce you to really be celibate and be pure, but then for you yourself, you don't want to do that, right? And that's perfectly fine. That's perfectly normal. If you want to go out, have sex, have fun, experiment, yeah. And because they're forcing that on you, now you have to lie to them like, oh, yeah, I am pure, I'm celibate, or I'm like your version of clean and everything like that. And so it just creates those secrets that, like, it's really hard to uphold. And I'm also speaking from experience too, like we grow up and we have boyfriends, and you get to choose what you want to do in your life, like consent and everything like that, and you get to choose your experience. And so my parents, since they're very traditional, like they were keeping me on that celibacy, on the purity and everything like that. But I had my first boyfriend, and you know, yeah, things happen, and I had to like uphold that I was still pure and
Yeah.
celibate. I was
Yeah.
so scared. I swear that experience when my mom walked in and she was like, "Are you still pure?" in Hmong. And in Hmong, it's yes,
Right.
it's way more extreme. I love you,
Yes.
mom, but yeah, just like an experience I wanted to share. And it was so extreme. I was scared for my life, and obviously I lied.
I mean, like, what are you supposed to say to your parents? And you feel like if you like say no, then they're gonna beat your ass, you know? Like if I
Yes.
say no, then you'll be like, oh well, let me teach you about the safe ways to do it instead, you know?
Mm-hmm.
Like, yeah,
Yeah, because we're scared. It's like a threat to us.
yes.
But now we're grown and we have matured. So my mom definitely understands all of this that
I don't
goes
talk
on
about this to
now.
my mom. No, not my mom, not my dad, no way. Except now I've opened up to my sisters more, and like actually I've talked to them about this before. But back then I didn't talk to my mom, my sisters, or nobody because they were just so like they're also like that traditional mindset, of like only saving for your husband, da 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 da. But now like my sister has really like opened up and be like, go do what you want, have your fun, just be safe. I'm like, yes, that's
Period.
why like I talk to them a little more about it now,
Yes.
yeah.
Yeah. And so the next thing we got going on is what is something we wish we knew or were taught about sexual health or relationships growing up?
I feel like sexual health in general, like STIs, like, all that stuff. We weren't taught about it at home. So like I said, we were taught about it at school, right? So I feel like if we were just taught about sex in general at home by our parents, I think everything just would have been way more comfortable, But like just know how Hmong people are Hmong, like they weren't also taught about that stuff, right? So I don't think they even knew what that stuff was too. Yeah,
Right.
like the actual words for what it actually is. Tapito, like we got here, then like they're like this is chlamydia, this is gonorrhea, this is how you get it, this is how you stop it. We
Right.
were also taught here, and then Hmong parents, they don't know, so I feel like I feel like they didn't know. So yeah, they weren't educated. They couldn't tell us, but
Yeah.
I feel like they still knew. They still knew
Exactly.
that you
Yeah.
could get something bad from a guy, you could get all this and that. So I feel like just a basic knowledge of it, of like
Yeah.
of sexual health and like using condoms and preventing how to have kids and all that stuff, like safe sex.
Yeah.
Yeah. So yeah, I think just that in general, and then also relationships. I feel like if I wish you were taught that even if your relationship if you don't want to have sex, it's okay to not have sex. I feel like you get into this mindset of like, oh, that's my boyfriend. Like if he wants to do it, like I have to do it even if I don't want to. Or that's my
Yes.
husband. I have to do it even if I don't want to.
Yes.
Yeah. So
Yeah. But sorry, guys, I was like kind of smiling because I was thinking about a funny story about when you were talking about, oh shoot, which part were you talking about? Like probably sharing with your parents and stuff about sex and stuff. And so, and condoms and stuff. And so, after, I think it was after like health class, we were giving condoms for free,
oh yeah,
and
yeah,
then
yeah.
I put them in my car and my dad took my car that day. And so, like, love you, dad, too, but he was being nosy. So he was looking through my car and then he saw the condoms in my car and he was mad. He was livid. He went to my mom and he was like, why are there condoms in your daughter's car? And my mom came to talk to me, and then at that time I was like, also sexually active too. But then they didn't know, and so my mom was like, "Why do you have condoms in your car? Your dad found them." And I was like, "Oh, they're from sex ed class." And then she was like, "Well, are you doing anything?" And I was like, "No," even though I
This
was.
was in high
Yeah,
school.
yeah, this was in
Okay.
high school. Yeah, and then yeah, I was just like, no, I'm not doing anything. And she's like, oh, okay, yeah, that's what I thought. Like they were just, condoms that were provided to you because of class or something. And I was like, yeah, that was it. Wait, actually, it wasn't sex ed. It was from the nurse.
Oh, cause I was like, I
Yeah.
don't think we did sex ed in freaking 11th
No.
or 12th grade, did we?
Yeah, we
We
did.
did.
Yeah,
Oh,
with Mr. McGinnis. We could
I
take that
never
part
had
out.
him.
Oh,
Yeah.
really? Oh my gosh, you never had the cool teacher.
I don't think. Do you do sex ed? I don't remember doing sex ed.
Oh, I did sex
I don't know. I
ed.
got bad memories.
Yeah.
I can't recall. But,
Yeah, I remember in sex ed class they played that fear mongering movie of teenagers, and they had sex, and then they had an unplanned pregnancy, and then they had to get married and everything like that. It was wild, and they were so stressed in that movie. And basically, the lesson of that movie was don't have unsafe or unprotected sex.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah. But then they really like maximize the fear in that movie though, because like the teenage pregnancy and then becoming young parents and then being so
Yeah.
stressed
I
and
feel like
everything like
they make
that.
sex into something that we're scared of. That we should be scared of,
Yeah. Yes.
Yeah.
Yeah, but just have safe sex, y'all. Don't have unprotected sex because, a lot of diseases get passed around. You could have an unplanned pregnancy, everything like that. But yeah, that was just a fun little story I want to share with you guys. But something that I wish I knew, I think what lacks in our society, just not in our Hmong culture, but like our American society too, is how to have a healthy relationship. Because we as people, we grow up with such different upbringings, different values, morals, but like how can we still be in a healthy relationship with all of those like difference and the similarities. And so I think that's something that I wish that we were taught, because I think growing up we're surrounded by so many, like, well, not so many, but we see negative relationships, toxic relationships, and sometimes the people in the toxic relationships even glorifies the relationship too. And so I think that being taught on like how to maintain a healthy relationship is very important, and we could even do like another episode on this, like I know that there are the anxious attachment, the avoidant attachment.
Abandonment attachment. There's a lot.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So I think like if we grew up knowing like how healthy relationships or like how to maintain healthy relationships would really help.
Yeah. All right. So let's talk about contraceptives.
Yeah, that is something we already brushed
Birth
up.
control.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's basically it for contraceptives. I mean, be smart,
Smart.
We get it when you're in the feeling, you're like, oh my gosh, yeah, just do it. But no, don't do it. Don't, okay?
Yes.
Be smart about it. Don't let your sexual frustrations and feelings overcome what is really in here, okay? And I'm pointing at my head if you guys are listening, because if y'all do, then good luck. You guys better find a plan B. Okay.
Yes. Oh, you never know, but they could all like for like plan Bs. Sometimes it's not 100%. Y'all know that, right?
Oh yeah.
Like there's that
Yes.
0.1%. That 0.1% really be like, okay, we'll pop out.
Yeah.
So I feel like it's always better to like even like be on the birth control, like having next one ons, IUDs or Depo, the shot and stuff. I personally don't like that stuff because I don't think it reacts well with my body, and my
Yeah.
body doesn't like it. So I just stay away from that. Stay celibate, whatever.
Yes.
Yeah, but I think definitely like just be safe, y'all,
Yeah.
and just listen to your body because you know your body best, right?
Yep.
Yeah.
I agree. I did get this shot before. What is that called?
Depo.
Yes, the Depo shot. And
Did you do the butt one or like the arm one?
I did the booty one.
Oh, you did the booty one? Okay.
So it didn't hurt as much. But I did that for about a year and then I stopped, and I didn't have any effect. There was no like negative impact
See,
on
yeah,
me
it's
having
different for
it.
everyone because I gained hella weight from it.
And I also wanted to mention that contraceptives can be free at like organizations,
Planned Parenthood.
Planned Parenthood, like nonprofit organizations. So yeah, if you cannot provide them, then, or if you cannot get it for yourself, then definitely go check them out at, organizations.
Yeah.
Okay, so I think the next one is pretty similar to safety. Yeah, so, just always be safe when you're gonna be doing the deed. Like, yeah, that's basically it.
Be safe anywhere.
Yeah.
Just do everything safely.
And so the next one we want to really emphasize on is consent. Okay. I remember at our first event where one of our attendees said that no is a complete sentence. period.
Mm-hmm.
And even if you don't verbally say no, you can definitely tell by the body language,
Yep.
the facial expression, and the unsureness or undecidedness, because you can just like, you can feel people's energy. And if their energy is really radiating like no, then it is no. And when it does come to sex, I feel like that's just like what it is, because it's something so sensitive. And um yeah, it's just something so sensitive, where like you just know when you know, and that's it. Like it's a vibe to get
Mm-hmm.
to sex, and if you don't,
You don't feel it. You don't
right?
vibe with it. It's just no. You know.
Yes. Yep.
I feel like it's just when you know, you know. Like,
Right.
yeah.
Yeah. And like when you are giving consent, obviously you're reciprocating the same energy back.
Mm-hmm.
Period. And that's it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, Lex explained it pretty well, so I don't have anything to say about consent. But no means no.
Mm-hmm.
That's it.
Yeah.
Yeah. So we'll dive a little deeper into why parents should teach their kids about everything around sex, sexual health, healthy relationships, right?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I just think it's so important because I saw this post where when parents don't teach their kids the actual words, like,
Mm-hmm.
oh, that thing is called a popsicle, and the kid's like, oh yeah, like he was like trying to use like maybe touch his popsicle, and the kid's like,
Yeah.
the mom's like, oh, what's a popsicle, and then she realized, oh, like it's that, right? So I'm
Uh-huh.
like, it's so like you have to really teach your kids the proper words for
Yes.
these things, because when things like this happen, you won't really actually know,
Mm-hmm.
unless they say the actual word, right? So
Agreed.
yeah, I think it's so important to teach kids the actual word. Obviously, maybe not when they're so young, but when they start hitting that, like, I feel like sixth, seventh, eighth grade, like around that age, I feel like they should already know, like,
Mm-hmm.
what they're called.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, I agree. I saw this teacher on TikTok where she was teaching her kids. It was like a cute song. She was like, you can't touch me here, you can't touch me there. You touch me, I'll tell my mommy, I'll tell my daddy, my grandma, my grandpa, auntie, uncle. And I was like, period. I love that she's teaching her
Mm-hmm.
young kids this. And this was in elementary, not sure what grade they are, but they sounded like they were young kids.
Mm-hmm.
And so I just love that consent is being taught at a young age like
Mm-hmm.
this. I don't know if like all elementaries institute this, but I think they definitely
Yeah.
should, because it's scary out here, especially for our children.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Just yeah, children.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. I saw this case. I just got mad. I saw this case about how this guy, like, he like raped like a
Oh
um
God.
I forgot how old the person was, how old the girl was,
Yeah.
but it didn't count because she had an orgasm.
Oh my God. Wait, I heard about that
You
too.
heard about that,
Yeah.
right? Oh my
Yes.
God, the
That's
anger I
so
freaking
fucking stupid.
felt,
Yeah.
bro. I'm gonna chop off that.
But
Like,
how would they know that she had an orgasm?
I don't know. Maybe the guy was like, oh, she had one.
The hell? But
Like,
he's the perp though.
that's what I'm saying. Like, why is it when it comes to situation like this where people get sexually harassed, like,
Uh-huh.
it's always like it's never on our
Yeah.
on our side,
Yes.
the
Yep.
like the perpetrator
Yes.
the
Yep.
perpetrator
Uh-huh.
is always the one that I don't know why they get the most.
They always win.
Yeah, they're like they
Yeah.
always win.
Mm-hmm.
It makes me so angry, so that's just like whenever things like this happen, like go get that like rape test done, like right away, all that
Yep.
stuff. Yeah, that's also something I feel like we're not taught about at all.
Uh-huh.
If rape and stuff happen to you, go get a rape test done right away.
Oh my gosh, yes. There is a term for the nurses that do that kind of work. I forgot what they're called, but there is only one Hmong nurse that does that.
Oh, yeah?
In the US. And I forgot what kind of nurse that is called. I actually want to search up because I know that some Hmong nurses are trying to go into that field.
Mm-hmm.
Sorry, y'all. Give me a minute. Oh, SANE. Yeah. So it is a SANE nurse. So this is the um what does it stand for? Sexual assault nurse examiner. Yeah.
Okay.
So there is only one Hmong SANE nurse, which is very like interesting because a lot of our Hmong women, they do become nurses, but not a lot of them go into this department. But yeah, I forgot where I got that statistic from, but yeah, it is confirmed that there is one SANE Hmong nurse out
Yeah,
there.
I love that.
Yeah. Period. So yeah, I agree. Like definitely go get that sexual examination. It's so important. You just because no one will really believe you unless science is there, right? Unless they like have all the facts backed up and everything. So yeah, that's really true.
Yeah, and then you know what? One thing I always remember was when I was a kid, and like we go to our physical examinations with our family doctor, and they always examine you down there when you're younger, you know.
Yeah.
So that's why I always think like, why don't our parents teach us that?
Yeah.
You know, like we're out there, like we're still young, we're uncomfortable. Like, why are they checking us down there? You know,
Yeah,
like I feel
that's so
like
true.
when we're already going through that as a child, with them checking us, I feel like the parents ought to be teaching us about that stuff. You know, I just think it's like such good knowledge to just have growing up, so you know what the heck is going on, and
Right.
like you know, yeah. So I don't know. I just remember that out of nowhere. I just think it's funny.
Yeah, no, I remember going to the family doctor too, and they're like, "Oh, take your shirt off," and I'm like, "The hell?
I
I
know.
never take my shirt off in front of my mom before. Like, this is weird." And so, it's like a first time thing, and it's with a stranger. So it's like, okay, yeah, that is definitely something you should teach your kids because it's their first like appointment, first like puberty exam that they don't even know what puberty is. Growing up, I didn't even know what puberty was, and I thought that as my body was changing, it was just normal, I guess. I mean, it is normal, but like for me, I just thought like, oh, I'm still the same, and I don't really know what's happening to
Yeah.
me until like I started growing hair in places I didn't know I could grow hair, and I was like, oh my gosh, like what's going on?
Yeah.
Yeah, and I just had to like do my own research and everything too.
Like how I said, when I got my period, I didn't know what the hell it was. I woke up, I wiped, I was like, oh, why is it pink? I went back to sleep. I woke up, I was like, oh my God. And then I told my sister, she said, oh yeah, your period's. What the hell, my period? Like,
Yeah.
it's like, why weren't we taught? It's like, oh, if you have your period, you have to wear a pad so you don't get it anywhere. And having a period, you get it every month. It's like, why weren't we taught this stuff?
Yep.
Like, obviously my mom knew what periods were because she got periods too, right? So I'm like, yeah, I just wish we were taught this. And then, when like my boobs start growing after puberty, it's just like, what the heck? Because
Yes.
y'all, when I got when I was a skinny kid, like very skinny, like I was just nothing here, and then puberty, boom, I was on my tummy too, like, yeah, your boobs are gonna grow, while your butt's gonna grow because you're getting older, all this stuff. Yeah, I just wish we were really taught this from our mother,
Yes. And I remember this one time too in high school when me and all the girls, we were at your house. We were getting ready to go to like snow days, the school dance or something. And I was laying on my side. And then one of our girlfriends, she was like, ooh, Alexis, you have nice curves. And I didn't even know what that was, because like, I was like, what are you talking about? And she was like, look at your hips. And I was like, what about my hips? Like, I was so confused. And, given I am the oldest and the oldest daughter too. And so like my mom didn't really teach me that parts of my body was really going to grow in that way. And so when my friend at the time said that, I was very confused. I was like, oh, I guess I do have hips now that are like wider than like usual. Yeah. So I just thought about that when, we were mentioning puberty, boom, like the body.
Everything changes, everything grows,
Yes.
So yeah, I think very important to teach your children.
Yeah,
Yeah.
and I've actually like asked some Hmong mothers, like, do you guys have the sex talk with your daughters and sons or the puberty talk? And like most of them kind of says no, like they just kind of warn them. Like they're just like, don't get pregnant, be safe, don't be stupid. Like that's all what they say to them, something along those lines. But they don't really dive in like, hey, this is what happens, this is what you shouldn't do, this is what you should do. And so I feel like it's very important. Please, Hmong parents, if you're a Hmong parent or just like any parent out there, please inform your children, your young ones, because they really don't know.
I also think it's so important to teach your sons about women having periods.
Yes.
Because growing up
Yes.
it was such like an embarrassing thing to have a period.
Uh-huh.
Oh my god, there's blood in her. Like, oh my,
Yeah.
it should be like, oh my god, there's blood in you. Like, you should go change. Yeah, and yeah, I just think I think it's important to teach your sons too, because I saw this video where they taught their son that like when women are on the period, they have this pain and that pain, so they're more aware of like things that are going on. Oh yeah, and you should teach the pain that comes with periods. Good lord,
Yeah.
I'm out here dying my freaking cramps. I'm like, mother, I feel I'm getting stabbed. Like, oh my god, don't drink cold water because you're gonna get cramps. All that stuff. Like, yeah, I just think the knowledge around everything in general that involves everything like that really
Yes.
should be taught to us growing up. Yeah.
I agree.
Yeah. Yeah. So let's go ahead and move on to experiences.
Yeah, just everything around sex, growing up, being taught, all of this stuff. I mean, we did share some of our experiences. I can start first. So, one of my sex encounter experiences, it was like when I was fairly young, probably like 21, 22 there. Actually, no, probably 20 or 21 there when we were like partying up in college and everything. And yeah, after the club, we went to the guy's place. It was like all of us hang out and we were just like having fun or whatnot. And then, decided that okay, let's see where this takes us, and I was like single and experimenting, experiencing and everything, but I think I was like at a place where I didn't really want to like do much. Like I had a boundary, right? But at that time I didn't know how to express my boundary or verbally say say no, or like just have that boundary really placed on. And so, yeah, things were getting steamy or whatnot. And I could tell that he definitely wanted to, get in, dive in. But for me, I was like, I don't think I want to do this. But here's the thing with being a people pleaser too. You don't want to like say no, right? Because you're like, oh, like I'm sorry, like no, but then it's just like, wait, but if I say no, like I feel like I'm gonna upset them, So it's just like I'm just gonna thug it out, even though I'm not really thugging it out. And so yeah, I made an excuse. I was like, I gotta go to the bathroom. And then I called my friends and I'm like, please come get me, say that we gotta go or something. And this was something that I did for a while because like I really sucked at saying no. And I really sucked at like standing up for myself. And so I just always like used that excuse, like, oh, sorry, my friends are coming and I gotta go. And instead of me saying no. And so just like learning from that experience, like now I'm so much better at standing up for myself and saying no, because it's not about them, it's about me.
Yes.
Especially when it comes to sex. Like I know if I want to have sex or not. And sex is not a one-way street, it's a two-way street, okay?
Yes.
Like if they want to have sex, okay, they want to have sex, but it doesn't have to be with me, period. So even if, and it doesn't matter what stage you are at, like at getting to sex, like it doesn't matter if you're making out, everything's hot and steamy, and then if you want to say no, you could still say no.
Yep.
Like if you if you're not even having sex and like you're anticipating to have sex later, you could still say no, period. And that applies to if you're in a relationship or not.
Yep.
Yeah, so that was one of my stories where I really realized that I had to put that boundary there, stand up for myself and say no, and not be such a people pleaser to like find an excuse and just go around it. So, yeah, it takes a lot of courage to say no though in those kind of situations because it is a very sensitive topic and sensitive decision.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It is scary because what if when you like someone, and they want to, you don't want to, you're scared like, oh, if I say no, they're gonna stop liking me. And if they stop liking you because you said no, then they should be cut out of your life already.
Good riddance.
Yeah.
Yep.
Yeah. So experiences. I had this experience, y'all. I was with a guy, right? And then it was like when I was still very new, to like sex and stuff. And like, he wanted me to like, give him, pleasure. And then, oh my gosh, I'm gonna tell y'all, bro, that's just thing. Like, I'm so sorry. Like, oh my god,
No,
like
I love that.
It like stinks so bad. I was like, shit, I'm gonna gag. Like, it was like that bad. And like, but I was like, oh my god, like, sorry, I'm like, my tears are coming out because, I can't. Okay, hold on. Okay, my tears just came out.
Oh my gosh.
Yeah, it was just so bad. But then I was like, damn, like, I don't know how to say no because it was like still like I'm still very new to this and like. Like I did it once, I was like, oh, like I can't, like
Yeah.
I'm like no, like. But I was like proud of myself for like saying no because at that moment I was like, oh my god, like what if I say no and something happens? Because like back then when a time where I didn't say no before is because like I was scared of that person, So you never know what could happen,
Yes.
So like I was like, oh my god, like ooh, like do I just keep letting this happen? But when things like that so out of your control, like girl, you just gotta say no because you're not gonna do that without saying anything, like it's just not gonna happen. You're just gonna be so uncomfortable and like that whole thing just won't be good. Like that from the very beginning turned everything off towards that, like how Lex said, like if you guys were already planning to like have sex later, but then during like the beginning, if you're like you feel like no, you don't want to, then say no because that's exactly what I did because you don't want something sneaking like that in you,
Yes.
like that could give you, like you said, like they might have had like STIs or something, like this thing. And if this thing, you just gotta tell them straight up, like
for real.
Can you go watch that? Like it really smells, Like
yeah. No, I think it's a given. Even like for me, like when a guy is gonna go down on me, I want to make sure I'm clean down there. I don't
It's
want
like,
it to like be sweaty and achy down there.
Literally, like I think it's just basic like knowledge to clean yourself and make sure you're clean
because it's embarrassing actually. If like that you've been doing things the whole day and then suddenly like you expect someone to go down on you, and it's like sir, you stink.
Yeah.
And vice versa too, like ma'am, you stink, so
yeah, that was like one of my like very first bad experiences. So I'm just like, no, that made like that
No.
wasn't that like that scarred me. I'm like, you need to make sure you're clean,
Yeah.
like clean, please. Yeah.
Yeah. Okay. So one of my good experiences. Do I even have good experiences? I'm just kidding. I think a good experience that I had was, and when we talk about these good experiences, they're experiences that should feel right to you, like giving consent, saying like yes, and actually, or you don't even have to like necessarily say yes, but just kind of like we know what consent is. Like we mentioned before, it's that energy, it's that reciprocation, like giving the vibe that yes, we do want to proceed, or no, we don't want to proceed, right? Which one do I want to share? Wait, I don't want to sound like that, but I think like when it's a two-way street, like I mentioned with sex,
Mm-hmm.
that you also get your orgasm and they get their orgasm, but you guys like obviously meet in the middle and you guys do things that you guys want. Like sex should be fun. It should be also sacred. It should be like important. Well, it really depends on like your definition of how you want sex to be like for you, right? So
Yeah.
like when I had broken up with my ex, I was exploring. I didn't really want sex to be like sacred to me. I want it to be fun, thrilling experience because I had only been with one guy. And so I was like, oh, I want to like see how it feels like. And I also considered myself like demisexual too because I felt like I was only attracted to, sexually attracted to people that I had a connection with. And I still do feel that way because I'm not good at one night stands, y'all. Like, I don't think I like for me, if I would have a one night stand, I'll be romanticizing that person. I'll be like, okay, our future. Okay, so our story began like this. We had a one night stand, and then like we bumped into each
A
other at
very
the grocery
futuristic
store.
person.
Yes, and then all of a sudden we're like, ugh, like oh god, it's my one night stand. I'm so embarrassed. And then like I get home, and then he texts me, and I'm like, okay, I guess we're gonna hang out. And then, yeah, y'all know if you guys are like this type of person, just like me, where we're like we cannot have one night stands, then yeah. But I did try it, but I could say that I did not get that vibe from like those people because I guess my first one night stand, that one was a total fail. Okay, just total fail. I felt very awkward and yeah, he was also very awkward too. So I was like, okay, this is so weird. Like I just can't because there could only be one awkward person, which is me. Okay.
I feel
And,
like when you're both not feeling it, even the way you kiss, it doesn't flow well together. You know, everything is just not like
Yeah.
not going together. The only thing that's clashing is your teeth when you're kissing because like it's awkward. You know.
Yes, that's true. Yeah. Well, I don't know how we got to another bad experience, but whoops. Okay. But yeah, a good experience. Going back to the good experience was, that it's just a two-way street. This person, it was like we had more than one encounter, and it was like a fun time. For me, it was a fun time. Because we just knew like we had gotten out of a relationship too. I think I was already like probably more than 6 months single. And so I was just like having fun. And with this person, I had like a friendly connection with him. And I just felt like we understood each other. Like he did talk about his ex, but like since I wasn't interested in him, I didn't give a fuck. I was like, go ahead, talk about your ex. Like I'm just here to have fun. But yeah, going back to that demisexual, like I felt like I had a friendly connection with him. And so that's why I just felt like I was safe to be with him during that time. But yeah, I think I'm pretty like good. Well, with that relationship, I was really good with not mixing in feelings with that person because I was like, yeah, I know it's not going anywhere with this person, but I'm just here to have fun. And I feel safe. I feel like a friendly connection with this person too. So yeah, those are my experiences.
I would say my good experiences. I feel like same as Lex. When they want to pleasure you too, because there's a lot of times I've encountered guys where they just want to be pleasured.
Yeah.
And it should be a two-way street. So they pleasure me, I pleasure you. And they make sure you are pleasured before you get into it. So I feel like when that happens, everything just moves together so smoothly. And I think I definitely agree with like the emotional connection.
Yeah.
I feel like after experiencing like my like one night stand, I just feel like like when there's no emotional connection, I just don't feel it. Like I can have sex, but I'm like, what was that? Like I wasn't even feeling the whole thing. So I definitely feel like having that emotional connection during like sex makes everything 10 times better.
Mm-hmm.
Everything just feels better. Everything just, everything just works together better. So I feel like, yeah, definitely someone that like loves to make sure you're feeling good as well. So I feel like that's one
Yes.
of my good experiences. And then like just outside of sex experiences, it's okay like if you're celibate, right? Like me
Mm-hmm.
right now being celibate, oh my god, it's the most amazing thing ever. I
Yeah.
feel even way better, It's
Mm-hmm.
like I'm not like I I'm not like sleeping around just like pleasure myself and stuff. Like I feel so
Or
much
fill a
yeah,
void.
or feel the
Mm-hmm.
void. I feel so much pleasure being celibate and just like filling my voids my way by doing things that I like,
Yes.
like not
Yeah.
not needing that sexual pleasure. Yeah, and I think yeah, good sexual pleasures very great, good
Mm-hmm.
experiences, but being celibate so great too.
Yeah,
Yeah,
I agree.
mhm.
I think being celibate is such a liberating
It feels
feeling.
powerful.
It
You
does.
know, when
Yes.
guys be like, "Let's have sex," I'm like, "No." I'm like, "Hey,
Period.
like, wow,"
Yes. Yeah.
Yeah. So
Yeah. I was celibate for 2 years and it was amazing. Like I was just so powerful. I mean, I still feel powerful myself too, but like it was just like, yeah, don't need I don't need dick, period.
mhm.
Yeah. Because like a lot of people they do need that sexual encounter, right? All
Mhm.
the time because that's how like they would feel valued or that's how like they would um I
Just
guess just
feel empty
right,
voids.
yes.
Hmm.
Yeah. But once when like you master that celibacy and not saying like it's for everyone, but I think that it is recommended. Everyone should try it, and it's just gonna make you feel
You feel so
so
good.
yeah so
Yeah.
great about
Hmm.
yourself
Hmm.
because you know that you are so like
You're so amazing alone by
yes
yourself that you don't need another person there to make you feel better. It's
yes
just that empowerment of like not
hmm
having sex.
right
Yeah.
exactly.
Hmm.
Yeah, and so that concludes our episode. Wow, y'all, this was a long one, but it was a lot to talk about, and we hope that you guys had a few takeaways from our episode. So let us know in the comments what are things that you wish you knew growing up that you would have learned before a relationship, before sex, or let us know some of your sex stories too. DM us. Um, and yeah, anything else, Emmy, you want to add on?
No, just thank you so much for tuning in for our episode. And just a reminder, we do have our Girls Night Out Halloween event, October 26th. We still have a few tickets left. Yeah,
Yes,
only a
yep.
few tickets left. So make sure to secure your spot before you don't get one, okay? So you can get
hmm
spooky together.
Also, we have started our very own book club. I think by the time this episode goes up, we
It's
have,
already been
yeah,
started.
yeah.
Yeah.
So it's already started. It's actually starting tonight at 7 o'clock. Okay, 7 p.m. And so join us. Even if you haven't read the book yet and you still very want to join, DM us or comment on our post about the book club and we will DM you the Zoom
Yes.
link.
Hmm.
So, yeah, so excited to talk to you guys tonight about The Let Them Theory by Mel Robbins.
I
Okay,
started a
read.
bit and like before the book club started,
Uh-huh.
and yeah, I loved it. So I can't
Yeah.
wait to finish the book.
Yeah,
Yeah.
so read the first 5 chapters
Yes.
if you can before the book club, but if not,
Yes.
that's okay. Yeah, so
Yeah. So thank you so much for tuning in for today's episode. If you're listening on Spotify, make sure to like and comment. If you're listening on YouTube, make sure to also like and comment and share a video, and make sure to click the bell so you get a notification for whenever we post up an episode. And don't forget to follow us on Facebook, Instagram, TikTok, YouTube, Spotify at Madam Hunger.
and please, y'all, please rate our Spotify show. We would so appreciate it. I think we only have like 1 or 2 ratings on it. So please rate it. We will love you guys so much like we already
We
do,
already
but
do.
even more.
Yes.
Yeah.
All right. So, again, thank you so much for listening, and we will
See you soon, girlies.